Hello there. I hope you had a good weekend. Welcome to the Bernie Show presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Just a reminder, I always feel I got to let you know if you're new here watching this, let you know what I'm up to. So here at STL Sports Central, I do 5 videos a week and I write 5 columns a week. You can also catch me Friday mornings on the Randy Carricker Show here at STL Sports Central. I am a regular on KMOX. I do the Cardinal Territory video and podcast with Katie Wu once or twice a week, and I do a weekly Seeing Red podcast about the Cardinals with my friend Will Leach. Please subscribe, hit the like button, make sure to leave your comments. I appreciate all of that very much. Thank you. Today's topic, the Cardinals refuse to go away. After messing up a chance to win last week's 4-game series against the Cubs, having to settle for a split, the Cardinals traveled to Cleveland, and I was curious to see what kind of response they would have to the end of the Cubs series, but they traveled to Cleveland, and all they did, the Cardinals, was come through with their most dominating performance in a series this season. Yeah, I totally believe that. And keep in mind, I mean, I ain't saying that the Guardians are, the LA Dodgers, right? But they did have a winning record when the Cardinals went in there. So the Cardinals outscored the Guardians 21-6 in the 3 games. But other than when Miles Mikolas was pitching, the Cardinals outscored Cleveland 21-0. Mikolas gave up 6 runs in the 4th inning Saturday, and that's the only time the Guardians scored. In this series, the Cardinals did not allow a run in 26 of the 27 innings. That's pretty remarkable, incredible. I don't know. It's good, right? And when Mikolas wasn't pitching in that series, the Guardians went, this is just crazy. I love numbers like this. So when Mikolas wasn't on the mound, the Guardians went 6 for 74 at the plate for an 081 batting average, and all 6 hits were singles. 6 for 74 against every other pitcher not named Miles Mikolas. In the 3 games, the Cardinals offense averaged 7 runs. They batted .296. They had 6 home runs from 6 different players and 6 doubles. They also hit .360 with runners in scoring position. When Mikolas wasn't pitching, the Cardinals out-hit the Guardians by a margin of 32-6. 32-6. Dominant. Just dominant, except for one guy. And I'm not trying to kick Mikolas around. I'm not. I'm just making a point. That was the only unpleasant thing that happened all weekend, right? Starting pitcher, Sonny Gray was incredible on Friday night. One of the best starts by a Cardinals pitcher in modern times. That was incredible. So starting pitchers, Sonny Gray and Matthew Liberatore combined for 15 shutout innings over the weekend. 7 different relievers used by the Cardinals in this series combined to pitch 8 scoreless innings, and they allowed only 2 hits in their 8 scoreless innings. Excuse me. The Cardinals bullpen in this series allowed only 2 hits in those 8 scoreless innings of work. Across the board, and it really was across the board, we witnessed utter domination by the visiting Cardinals, except for the Cardinals fans, and there was a lot of them there, and they make a lot of noise. Cardinals fans on the road are great. They have such a presence and visibility, and you can hear them, you can see them. And they're always having a good time, especially since the Cardinals are really winning a lot on the road as of late. But except for those Cardinals fans who were in the ballpark following the visiting team, the Cardinals kept that ballpark really quiet over the weekend, except for 1 inning, right? And when the Guardians did have their 6-run inning against Mikolas, they took a 6-1 lead in Saturday's game. And then the Cardinals promptly said, nah, that's all right. We got this. They staged yet another comeback, outscoring the home team 8-0 over the final 5 innings of Saturday's contest. It was the 21st comeback victory of the season by the Cardinals. And by sweeping the Guardians, the Cardinals improved to a season best 9 games over 500 with a record of 47-38. So after losing the last 2 games of the Cubs series and getting shut out over the final 22 innings of that series, the Cardinals did lose ground, as we know, In the NL Central standings, after they won the first 2 games of the Cubs series, they were only 2.5 out. But when they lost the last 2 of the Cubs series, they were back to 4.5 games out. But the Redbirds shook off the latest disappointment. And what do they do when they go through those things where they're disappointing or they are disappointed or whatever, when it's not good? They what do they do? How do they always respond? They get back to work. There's no pouting. There's no brooding. There's no loss of confidence, morale. They get back to work. And so by the time they got on their next flight, not to go to Cleveland, but now going to Pittsburgh, the Cardinals had cut that Cubs lead down to 2.5 again. And the Cardinals also pulled to within a half game of the second place Brewers. So once again, when the Cardinals needed to make a strong response after something had gone wrong, as it did in the final 2 games against the Cubs, they just went on the attack. They shook off, went on the attack, dusted themselves off, stood back up, stood tall, pitchers, hitters, everyone, and they got it done. They got it done. That's their usual response to these type of situations. And by now, we really shouldn't be surprised by this. And that includes me. We shouldn't be surprised by this. And by now, we shouldn't overreact. And when I say we shouldn't overreact, I'm including myself in that, because I tend to overreact. I admit it. You're never going to hear me run away from something I said. So by now, we shouldn't overreact when this team encounters some adversity. The adversity that comes with losing, whether it be a losing streak or a bad week or whatever it is. When they encounter this adversity that's related to losing, they always remind us of how good they are, right? And and maybe I'm stumbling around here trying to find the right words. Maybe it's time to accept the Cardinals for who they are and what they are. And that's actually a really good, really great thing, especially when you factor in the very low expectations coming into 2025. I'll have more on this in my second segment, but first, here's my daily pitch to you about DraftKings and their daily Pick 6 fantasy game. DraftKings gives you the option of a lot of different sports to play. But if you think, for example, baseball, then put the brain power to use and win yourself some big cash prizes through the daily Pick 6 contest. In DraftKings Pick 6, you focus on player stats. You select anywhere from 2 to 6 players. They can be pitchers, hitters, whatever, and choose whether the individual player or pitcher will go higher or lower on a specific stat set for the next game by DraftKings. I always like to give you an example, so here's an example. Tonight, at least as the scheduled starters were announced, the Cardinals are set to face Pirates left-handed starter Andrew Heaney in Monday's game. He's allowed 1.46 home runs per 9 innings this season. That's the 5th worst rate among National League starting pitchers. So who has the best shot at going deep for the Cardinals in this one? What about Wilson Contreras? If you think he'll hit a home run off Andrew Heaney, because a lot of people have been doing that lately, then you would choose higher than the Contreras line of 0.5 home runs going into this. If you think he ain't going to get it done, well, then maybe another Cardinal will get it done. But what would be the odds of Andrew Heaney not giving up a home run? So those are the kind of questions you got to look at. But if you pick Contreras and he hits a home run, you win. If you pick him to go lower than 0.5 home runs, if you don't think he will hit the home run and he doesn't, well, then you win, right? Higher or lower. And you put your faith in a player or a pitcher depending on how you see it as far as what's going to happen. Yep, Pick 6 is that simple, and it's a lot of fun. So it's an invitation from me to you and DraftKings, really, from all of us to you, to get in the game and take your best shot at winning that cash. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. You'll enjoy tracking your players when the games are in progress. It's like you got 2 games going on at once, right? But the most entertaining part, of course, is winning at DraftKings, and you can do that. It's easy to get started. The download of the app, the DraftKings app, it's very, very easy to work. It's an excellent app. You just open an account, then you choose a sport, you pick your players, and you go for it. New players at DraftKings get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly with just a $5 entry. So download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use the code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Let's get into segment number 2 here in the Bernie Show. I think we should recognize the Cardinals for what they are. That's what I was saying in the close of our first segment. And what they are is a good baseball team. Oh, for sure. They've had some bad stretches of baseball this season. Oh, for sure. There are times that we all squawk about them. Nothing wrong with that. That's baseball. That's being a fan. That's following a favorite team. Sometimes you're going to be mad at them, right? Other times you're going to be really happy. But when they go through one of those slumps or just kind of not real inspiring stretches, I don't think that defines them. In my opinion, what defines the 2025 Cardinals is something different. This team is able to shake off any losing streak and put it behind them, take the disappointment and throw it away, and then turn things around without delay. And that to me is who they really are. It isn't the team that has a 6-game losing streak as they did earlier, right? That's not who they are. What they are is the team that responds to a 6-game losing streak, right? That's who they are because we have seen them respond over and over and over again. Just a few examples, and I'll be quick. Early this season, Cardinals lost 5 out of 6 games. Well, they immediately bounced back to win 5 of their next 8. After losing 5 in a row in a horrible road trip to New York to play the Mets and then to Atlanta to play the Braves. That was in April. Lost 5 in a row. The Cardinals responded by winning 16 of their next 21 games. After opening June by losing 9 of their first 12 games, the Cardinals shook it off and they're 11-4 since then. After losing 12 of their first 14 road games this season, and I had almost forgotten about that, after going 2-12 in their first 14 road games, the Cardinals are now 19-9 in their next 28 road games, and they've won 6 of their last 8 road series. So early in the year, when they can't win on the road, they lose 12 out of 14. It's like, this is a bad team. They're not that good. And, that was early in the season. So I can understand the doubt then. I can. But as time goes on, as more weeks come off the schedule, you look at the Cardinals and you say, just about every time something goes bad, whether it be a trend like losing on the road, they find a way to get the damn thing turned around, and then they start winning on the road. So whenever something goes awry for the Cardinals, why do we still doubt them? And once again, I put myself in that group. Why do we still tend to doubt them? And I know a lot of it has to do with expectations. Nothing or very little was expected of the 2025 Cardinals. They were an afterthought nationally. No one was talking about them being a surprise team or a postseason contender. It was kind of like, well, they're kind of rebuilding. The national media in particular didn't know what to do with it. And I don't blame them because it was kind of hard to decipher exactly what the plan was. But that kind of fit. That was the theme of the season. We don't expect much from them, except they give us a lot, right? And by repeatedly getting up to rise again and win again, every time they slip, every time they fall down, every time they unravel a bit, they get up, they rise again, they prove again who they really are. And by all these great responses to when things go down and go wrong for a while, isn't that a reliable indication of who they are? I think it is, because it happens time and time and time again. I put it like this. If the Cardinals get their butts kicked in a series or maybe 2 series, if they don't look good for a week or maybe 10 days or maybe 12 days, well, and I'm taking my own advice here. Well, just sit tight and wait. Just sit tight and wait It's hot out there, have some lemonade, maybe an adult beverage, whatever it is, put something on the grill, just relax, enjoy life. Just sit tight when the Cardinals are losing and they're not looking good at all. Just sit tight and wait for them. Don't stress out too much. They'll come on back to you. They will come on back to you to make you smile again. Just wait it out a bit. And before you know it, they will start winning again, because this is what they do. And this is the thing I love about them the most. Even when they're bad, you just kind of understand, well, this isn't going to last long. They're going to be okay. So they're kind of like a double underdog. They were a huge underdog going in, right? And now every time they run into some bumpy road, or, they lay an egg at home, like getting swept by the Blue Jays, then the doubts kind of seep in again. Then we doubt them again. And that's human nature. And I get it. A lot of it had to do with expectations. And a lot of it had to do with, well, can we really take this seriously? Is this kind of a fluky deal? I don't think it is, because again, they keep coming back and winning and winning and winning after they hit a bad spell of baseball, right? So now that the Cardinals are 85 games into their schedule, I think we really should have more faith in these players and manager Ollie Marmol and his coaches. If something breaks, they fix it. If something goes wrong, they find a solution. They stay calm. They stay confident. They believe in themselves. They believe in each other. All those good cliches, it applies to this team. And I'm going to get into more of this in my third segment, and I'm going to share some numbers with you that are pretty surprising, but also kind of give you a perspective about the Cardinals when things are not going well for them. But I got to give a pep talk to my fellow men out there. It's time for some Blue Chew. Guys, if you are slumping, just know that there is an answer. There's assistance for you. You need to get back into the game. And if you're going to go play a game, right, whatever your game is, but I'm going to use this as a metaphor. If you're going to play a game, you do it with a better joystick, right? You get a higher score. That's one way to put it. Blue Chew is waiting to help you. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code that gives you a shortcut to awesome experiences in your love life. There's nothing wrong with a slump unless you just ignore it. So why continue to strike out when Blue Chew can help you hit home runs? With Blue Chew's assistance, you can have a more pleasurable, intimate relationship with your partner. And you know what? That's not just for you. Both of you benefit from that. Blue Chew can help men of all ages. ED issues impact a lot of us men. I know about that. And that's why I appreciate Blue Chew. And that's why I believe, I'm confident it can help you. But you got to make the move. Think of Blue Chew tablets this way. Chew it and do it. Make the move. You're just a few clicks away to get back in the action as a tower of power. And so you can sign up at bluechew.com. You consult with one of the licensed medical providers. Once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. That made in the USA product will be on your doorstep. It's all done online. You have total privacy. There's no doctor's office, no pharmacies, no uncomfortable conversations. And of course, we've got a special deal for our viewers and listeners here on the Bernie Show. As always, you get your first month of Blue Chew free. You just use the promo code Bernie at checkout, and you pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade man's performance out there everywhere. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety info. Once again, use the promo code Bernie to take advantage of the special offer. And a big thanks to our friends at Blue Chew for sponsoring the Bernie Show. All right, let's go with our third and final segment here on this Monday edition of the Bernie Show. I wanted to offer some perspective to persuade you, or maybe just give you reason to believe that it's no big deal when the Cardinals flop around for a while. Now, listen, if they got a chance to make the playoffs and they hit a bad stretch late in the year, well, that's a whole different story, right? It's a matter of context. If it happens late in the season, they can't afford to lose 6 in a row or something like that. We all know that, but I just wanted to reiterate, I understand that too. A losing stretch late in the year when you got something in line can absolutely be damaging. But there's two things about that. Number one, we're not at that point yet. Number two, take a look around and see what's been happening with some of the other postseason contenders in the National League. Just about every one of these teams spends a lot more money than the Cardinals are in payroll in 2025. All right, the Cubs are 4-7 in their last 11. The Mets and their $330 million payroll are 3-13 in their last 16 games. The Mets just got swept in a 3-game series over the weekend in Pittsburgh. And the Pirates, this is just stunning stuff here. In sweeping the Mets 3 games, the Pirates outscored the Mets 30-4. That's a team with the $330 million payroll and a team that had the biggest free agent signing of the offseason when they reeled in Juan Soto. The Phillies are 2-4 in their last 6 games, and they have a losing record since May the 29th. The Padres are 7-10 in their last 17 games, and they have a losing record since the 4th of June. Despite acquiring slugger Rafael Devers from the Red Sox, the Giants have lost 5 out of their last 6 games, and they're 10-14 over the last 2+ weeks, right? The Diamondbacks have lost 4 in a row. The national baseball media, it's amazing. You can go to The Athletic or MLB.com or wherever you want to go. It's amazing. It doesn't matter how bad the Braves are. You know, people are going to have them ranked 9th or 10th or whatever. Oh, they're coming. No, they're going to get a playoff spot. It doesn't matter. Like the Atlanta Braves performance does not matter to the people that do these power rankings. They give them the benefit of the doubt, even though this team, you know, we are at the end of July and the Braves are 7 games under 500 for the season. And they're 11-15 in June, 11-15 this month. It's like, oh, the Braves, oh, you just wait. They'll be coming along. They're going to be in the playoffs. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, the Reds have gotten better for sure, but their recent momentum has been dulled by a 5-5 record in their last 10 games. But I do believe the Reds are a factor here. Now, real quick over in the American League, the Yankees right now, going into Monday, they have lost 10 of their last 16. Boston has lost 7 of their last 8 games, and the Red Sox are 4-8 since trading Rafael Devers. Remember when the Kansas City Royals won 2 out of 3 in St. Louis earlier this month, and they were getting patted on the head for being a feisty underdog with a winning record? Watch out for the Royals. Well, since taking that series at Busch Stadium, the Royals have lost 15 of their last 21 games. Toronto's got a losing record since sweeping the Cardinals earlier this month. So my point in laying all this out is when the Cardinals experience a downturn, it's just really helpful to remind yourself and each other and me that other teams have and will go through the same thing. And some of those teams even have a $330 million payroll. The Cardinals don't stay down for long. And that's an outstanding quality for a team that cut $40 million from the payroll before the season and was expected to be a patsy, getting slapped around by the big dogs, a team that had no chance or a minuscule chance of making the postseason. Instead, 4 games past the halfway mark on the schedule, the Cardinals have the 10th best winning percentage in baseball. They have moved ahead of the Padres and the Giants and into 3rd place, the number 3 wild card position. And despite having a payroll that's $190 million less than the Mets have this season, the Mets are outspending the Cardinals by $190 million. The Cardinals go into the new week only 1 game behind the Mets in the overall National League standings. Over the weekend, and I'm sorry, Marmol haters, I'm sorry, but I think I should mention this. I'm not trying to troll you. But over the weekend, USA Today baseball columnist Bob Nightingale wrote that if the vote were held today, Ollie Marmol would be the runaway winner for NL Manager of the Year award. Long way to go, though, right? But still, the perception of the Cardinals is changing, and it is changing dramatically. And they're doing all of this, the Cardinals are, despite, based on previous franchise standards, despite having mediocre support by the fan base at home games. The Cardinals are a top 10 team on the field. Not only just a top 10 team, but we're talking about a team that was predicted to be maybe a bottom 5, bottom 6, bottom 7 team. Instead, they're a top 10 team on the field, but they only rank 13th in average tickets sold per home game. It's a really interesting time in St. Louis. There's no reason, however, to dog a true underdog. You're supposed to love the team. And even if they lose, you got to stick with them. I got to remind myself of that. Not overreact. I'll say it again. I overreact sometimes. I got to stop it. I got to have more faith in them because they show time and time again that they can take a punch, and man, they got a strong chin. They can take a couple punches and get up and hit right back. So instead of getting too down on the Cardinals when they have their slips and slides, maybe we should keep loving them instead of doubting them, right? It's a kind of team that as time goes on, there's just no reason to doubt their authenticity, right? They're not a fraud. They're not counterfeit. When you are going through, more than half a baseball season, and you have shown that when you get kicked around and you get slapped around and you get knocked down, they have shown they respond to that kind of adversity very, very, very well. And so I think the Cardinals are for real. And I hope they can just keep it up. And I would say that about any team that I particularly follow. If they get on a winning stretch, I would say that about any team anywhere. Well, that's the team I follow, so I hope they can keep it up. But the Cardinals, man, are giving us a hell of a season. They really, truly are. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please leave your comments. And we appreciate DraftKings for presenting the Bernie Show here on STL Sports Central. Thank you very much.